Welcome back to another video. Today's topic, stop the isms. What do I mean? Let's get right into it. What is an ism? It is a human-made concept, like capitalism versus communism, right? Both have inherent truths, but it's from a human perspective, right? So then neither end up being completely true. Same with religions, right? All religions have some semblance of truth, but they don't have the full truth. It's just how it is, right? One religion could have the truth of shedding the ego, and another religion could have the truth of spirits exist, beware. You know? But what is the problem with the ism? Because it's a human-made concept and humans are tribalistic, they begin to identify with the ism. Right? So if we're going to talk about religions, Buddhism or Hinduism, right? Or Christianism or Judaism or Islamism or whatever religion, right? It's always an ism because it's an identity, right? People have to identify with the thing they believe in. But here's the thing. You don't identify with your current mode of operation, your current quality. You are a human being. You grow old. You change. Right? The way you're a baby is not the same when you are a kid, and that's not the same way as when you're a teenager, and that's not the same way when you're an adult, and that's not the same way when you become elderly. Right? Men, that is humans, are like unto trees. And that parable has so many parts to it. You could dwell on it for a long time. Men are like trees. Straight up. Right? So, isms, what do you do to counter them? Right? Well, for starters, recognize it. Recognize that you don't need to identify with anything, really, other than truth. Truth and reality are inherent. Alright? And here's the thing. I've noticed this. I don't know where this shit came from, but why the fuck do people say my truth? Who made that up? There is no your truth. You don't own truth. Like, what the fuck? There is one truth, many lies. 2 plus 2 equals 4. It don't equal 5. It don't equal 6. It don't equal 7. One truth, many lies. You can't own it. The truth is a spirit, literally. Not figuratively. Literally, the truth is a spirit. You cannot own truth. It owns you. You subject yourself to it. You become the willing vessel for a higher power than yourself. And the truth is the only way to life. You already know who it is. Every good and perfect gift comes from above. That's just how it is. You don't just spontaneously come up with truth. No, it implants itself in you. Right? So the only thing to really identify with is truth. Because it's going to exist whether you do or not. Whether you exist or not, don't fucking matter. 8 billion people in this world, 1 billion people in this world, only 1,000 people in this world. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. If 99% of people in this world subscribe to nothing but lies, what good is it? What good are the numbers? Again, quality over quantity. Would you rather have one die-hard, honorable, respectful, good friend, or would you have 100 backstabbing piece of shit friends? I think you know what the answer is, right? But humans are vessels for a higher power. There is nothing you can do by yourself. You always need help from an outside source. That's just how it is. If you're atheist, you're not going to get it. So, again, isms, human made knowledge, or at least it's human perspective. There's true knowledge, which again is like saying 2 plus 2 equals 4, but then there's just whatever garbage knowledge out there. 2 plus 2 equals 5, 2 plus 2 equals 6. Knowledge itself is not the answer, it's wisdom. Wisdom is the why, what makes sense. But to combat isms, again, recognize that you are a changing human and don't identify with your current scenario. Don't identify with religions. Don't identify with politics. Don't identify with your likes or your wants or your desires, because those things change constantly. Is it wise to invest in something and think, well, 20 years down the line, this investment will grow to $1 million? Yeah, that's wise, but do you really know what's going to happen in 20 years? What happened in 2020? Did you see that coming? Probably not. Now, things can change like that. So it's better to be prepared for anything. And that's when the practice of non-attachment comes in. It's just don't get attached to it. That thing right there might not be here tomorrow. You are not promised tomorrow. You could die in your sleep. But just don't identify with anything except truth. Truth is the only thing that is stable. Everything else is a mass of swirling etheric energy. It can change form at any moment, right? Art itself is life. Or life itself is art, however you want to say it. I guess as a side topic, art is also a spirit, right? I don't understand why these artists, there's like some weird idea that there's some kind of moral law that artists should be paid for what they do. Why? What if they suck? Why would I pay you for sucky art? Art is also a spirit. It exists whether you exist or not. You're not that special. Get rid of that ego. To me, a true artist is someone who recognizes that they themselves, again, are a vessel for a higher power than themselves, and that art chooses you. It's like, hey, here's some inspiration. Bam. And what is inspiration? The taking in of water. Because the opposite of inspiration would be perspiration, which is the letting go of water, which is when you sweat. So perspiration is the letting go of water. Inspiration is the taking in of water. But what is the water in this scenario? It's truth or wisdom or information, so on and so forth, right? So if you're a true artist, from my perspective, again, you recognize that you're a vessel and you welcome that art into you, right? And it will show you something, right? So then when you make art, whether it's writing or a movie or a portrait, a painting, whatever, you don't own that thing. It owns you. This idea of like you need to be paid for this art. No. The only way an artist should get paid is for their effort. Because technically you can be inspired by art to do art. Like I have all these ideas and I haven't collapsed on it yet. But that could be taken from me and given to somebody else, and they'll do it and they'll make millions. You know, I don't own that. It's like floating down a river. You're here for a certain amount of time, and then you move on, right? So while you're there, take advantage of it. Again, water. It's all fluid. But an artist gets paid for their effort. So like that, like, if you draw a portrait, right? You don't own that art. There's no selling that art. You can't sell the portrait because you might be selling the physical thing of it, but it's the information behind it. True art has information hidden behind it. That's why when you look at old paintings, or maybe like surrealist art, whatever, it's always so interesting to look at because you're like, damn, man, what does that mean? What is the purpose behind this? And I struggled with that when I was a teen. I'm like, what the fuck is the purpose of art? I didn't understand it. Like, I even kind of got irritated with a guy because he did, I don't know, he did some kind of like little doodles or whatever, and he would try to sell them for like $5. Like, you tell him, hey, I want you to draw this, and he would do it, and he, give him $5 for it. But I didn't understand the point. I'm like, why are you an artist? What is art? What do you do? And he kind of looked at me like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to answer that. He didn't even know, but he was still doing it. But you pay an artist for their effort. So, for example, let's say you draw a portrait. You're some no-name artist, and you're not doing it for money. You're just doing it because you like doing it. But some rich guy with tons of money comes over. He's like, I love your art. I'm going to pay you for food, water, clothing, housing. I'll cover all your basic amenities. Just focus on the art because I love it, right? That's fine. That's perfectly fine. You pay someone so that they can focus on that art. You're not really paying them for the information itself because, again, the art is a spirit. It exists outside of you. And even, let's say you make a portrait. Let's say the Mona Lisa itself just evaporates. It doesn't exist anymore. And everybody forgot about it. That's fine. Because guess what? Give it enough time, somebody will draw almost the exact same thing with the exact same information behind it because it's etheric. It exists in a realm that you cannot see. Or when people take fucking shrooms or whatever hallucinogenics and they see shit, they see the machine elves, they see the jesters, they see demons. It's because they're always there. Always. There's no getting rid of them. There's no saying, oh, well, I made this up. No, you saw something. That information you witnessed was put into you, and now you're relaying it through your art. Right? That art, that information is always there. It's inherent in reality. But kind of went off on a big tangent there, but it still goes into the isms like, I'm an artist. But you don't even know what a real artist is. You just want to identify an artist because you ain't got no purpose in life. Right? I'm liberal. I'm conservative. I'm Democrat. I'm Republican. I'm a good person. Now, it's you trying to decide what you are, but you don't get to do that. You stupid little human. You don't get to decide what is or what ain't. You are subject to the reality around you. Again, you are a vessel. But the question is, okay, so you have free will. You can choose yes or no, left or right, zeros or ones. You get to choose which vessel you open yourself to. So it's better that you open yourself up to reality and truth because it's inherent without you or not. Or you could open your vessel to ego, vanity, narcissism, just straight up delusion, just make shit up, right? You can choose, but majority of the things you can choose are wrong. You know, people think if they're a moralist, that makes them a good person. I didn't say the bad word. I'm nice. I'm a nice person. But what good is being nice if you ain't getting shit done? What good is being nice if you get walked all over? You know? Sometimes being a good person means you don't get to be nice. And even then, like being a good person, you can only aspire to be good. There really is no such thing as good people. People who try too hard to be good, again, they're making shit up. It's more identity politics. I'm a good person. Well, what's a good person? It's always something different. And because I've read the Bible and I enjoy the wisdom of it, what did Jesus say? He said, "Why do you call me good? There's none good but the Father." So again, Jesus said he wasn't a good person. Who the fuck are you, man? You're not a good person. You were born evil, you lived evil, you're gonna die evil. You can aspire to divinity, but that's all you can do. Don't get your hopes up. Yes, human tribalism is there it is, ism. Human tribalism is the root of the whole identity crisis in politics and shit, right? You know, the moment someone says I am thing, immediately they're wrong. So there it is. I think I pretty much covered it. This is a bit of a quicker video than normal. I don't know, sometimes I didn't even write this down. I got a little list here of ideas for videos. It's more like just topics. Like this topic, it's been on my radar, but I only started thinking about it, and I just made this video sporadically because I was sitting on the toilet thinking about it, and I was like, I do this thing where I rant to myself. I'll just look at the wall and I'll say what I'm thinking as I'm thinking it. And then when I come to that like revelation or whatever, I'm like, there it is. So every good and perfect gift comes from above. Shit rolls downhill, but in this case the shit ain't poop. It's actually something good. It's wisdom. Yada yada. Yeah. It's another reason why you shouldn't have kids, because if your grandparents didn't know what they're doing, your parents didn't know what they're doing, you don't know what you're doing, why the hell do you think that having kids is suddenly going to fix the issue? Hey, what? You didn't have any wisdom to pass down to your kids, so where are they going to get the wisdom from? You know? Someone has to reveal it to them. I mean, the world, nature, reality will reveal it to them eventually. But, you know, you're supposed to be there to be an emissary so they don't have to do that shit. So, you know. But, I think I covered what I wanted to cover in this video. Like I said, I got a list here. There's a bug. Kill you. I got a list here of several things, several videos, so you'll see another video eventually. What the... I know that camera just picked up that bug. Don't ever buy potting soil from Walmart. I've had that shit for like a year now, and there's still bugs coming up out of the soil. How is this possible? Like, I've got a sticky trap with hundreds of them on there, and they're still somehow breeding. Like, what are you eating? Do you eat dirt? Eh? The fuck?